Today in Thrive, the whole point of today's session is mindset and happiness. So please help me welcome, and the crowd goes wild, PG Paradigm.
So that's what we call a neuron pathway.
Yes.
Okay, a neuron pathway done by repetition, over and over and over and over again. So the two most powerful words in any language, the two most powerful words in any dictionary are I am. Because what follows after I am will shape your life. So with the 5% of our conscious mind, we say, I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, I want to be free. But our bodies, the habit, the emotion, the feeling, is in a whole different program. That's why it's difficult.
Nerve cells that fire together, wire together. Guys, hear that very clearly, because the reality is that that is the secret to manifestation. Today in Thrive, the whole point of today's session is mindset and happiness. And I met PG Paradigm at an event. PG, was it at the beginning of the year?
That's correct, yes.
January. And he is just one of the most infectious, fun people. He's just always joking with people and trying to make people see the bright side of things, but then also he has got a bag of tricks and knowledge and wonderful stories. And so because today is about mindset and happiness, what we thought is that it would be great to invite PG onto the show to share some of his stories. And each story does have a beautiful takeaway from it that you can implement into your life. But today we are keeping things light. And then, of course, there's wonderful little golden eggs of meaning that are going to come into it as well. So please help me welcome, and the crowd goes wild, PG Paradigm. How are you doing?
Susana, I'm doing really well. This morning I get to the office and the very first thing I put on was that song that came to me, Oh, Susana, don't you cry for me. And I was dancing and I was getting ready for Friday, because Fridays are the days to be happy and joyful, even if we are staying at home.
Because it's Friday.
It's Friday, yes. Okay. So, and I didn't take the normal Oh, Susana. I took the remix because it's got a much more better beat on it. And I just went in straight in it, and I didn't care if I'm laughing at myself or I'm thinking whatever. I'm just in the moment, making sure I enjoy each and every moment of life. And I think that's what life about. And when I heard your story, the choice you made to take life back and just live the best life you can be, that is what we all need to do. We just have
100%. 100%. But PG, you know, you've got such a positive mindset and you've got such a great way of looking at things. What led you to this place of being PG Paradigm, the results doctor?
Okay, so I thought about my whole journey so many times, and everybody's got a journey. And we all know that we as humans only learn by two fundamental ways. The first way we learn is 0 to 7. Give me the child and I'll show you the man. Or through repetition. Okay, and then there's also other way of learning, like you've learned. We wait from something outside of us. Crisis, disease, loss, damage, some sort of a virus, something that gives us no other choice to change. But in any case, so from a very young age, I was busy, okay? I was that child that was jumping on everything, running down the roads. my mum told me a story when I was really young. Okay, I put it up this precast wall, a big one for me, only for me. No crooks or no scalums, so no one to come over for me to not get over it. Okay, so they just try and keep me inside. Okay, so then I take my black little motorbike, those ones that you paddle with your feet. Okay. Okay, then I get on my little motorcycle, my little bike, and I paddle from the one corner to the other corner. And then my mum realized PG is not in the house. Okay, she didn't say I have to run outside. And when she's on the one corner, I'm on the next corner. And when she gets to the next corner, I'm on the other corner already. So my mum is so thankful today because she said I kept her fit. She didn't complain about me going. But in any case, so it brings me to my next story. And my next story is when I was about 4 years old, and that's the same age as my boy now. And I always wanted to go on this bicycle with our neighbor's son. And our neighbor's son were grown up already by that time. And he said, I always begged, Mom, can I please go on this bicycle? This guy will lift me. And my mom said, no way, you're not getting on that bicycle. So one day, the neighbor's son came over and said, Ma'am, can I please take your son on my bicycle? He'll sit on the front, on the steering handle, and I'll make sure he's safe, and then we'll just go around the block. And then eventually my mom said, okay, it's fine. Okay. I don't know what was my mom thinking. Why would I now sit still on the handlebar? But in any case, so I was sitting on this handlebar, and we were going around the block, and when we were just like halfway, my foot got stuck in the wheel spokes. And when that happens, it takes off all the skin. Okay, so I'm 4 years old. Okay. And I can remember that I got off the bicycle, and now me as a 4-year-old start searching for my skin. Okay. Frozen again?
No.
Oh. Okay, so now me as a young boy, small boy, searching for my skin, and I can't find my skin anywhere in the road. It's gone. Okay, eventually I walk to the front wheel of this bicycle. Now I'm searching, where's all my skin? Okay, it's gone. I can't find it. And I'm devastated that I can't find my skin to put it back. But isn't it so interesting? We as adults keep on looking for things and searching for things that's not there anymore. We as adults always go back and look at situations, but where's my skin? Where's those things that I really need? Or where's those things that I had but I've lost?
Yeah.
And if we keep
that I had that I lost.
Yes.
Yeah. We've got this attachment to what was that we keep going back to and repeating.
Definitely. And then if we go over a routine of searching for things that's not there anymore, we start living in the past.
Yeah.
And if we keep living in the past and making the same connections, the same neuron connections over and over and over again, then Albert Einstein was right. The top point of insanity is doing the same things over and over and over again, but secretly we expect different results. And we will never, ever, ever in our life get better results. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the next story. I love telling stories. Okay. So grade 11. Now this is now it's grade 11 in my English class. Okay. So Miss Dirker took it upon herself to seat me at the very front of her class, right at the front door. Okay, so at the front door, she must just make sure that I'm close enough to the front door. So whenever she want to chase me out of the class, I'm like, I don't have to come from the back. Okay.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes it easier, less disruptive for the whole class.
Yes. Okay. In any case, so Ms. Dirker seat me at the front of the class, and then, but the two most important things I've learned in my whole of my high school career was in my English class. Okay. So I was sitting right at the front door, next to the wall, very first table. But on the wall, there was a poster, a black poster with purple writing on. 7 simple words. Altering your life by altering your attitude. And if your attitude is right towards life or situations or the coronavirus or whatever this may be, life is just a little bit easier, more joyful, and everything works out better. Because we know by now that thoughts are electric and feelings are magnetic. We attract stuff into our lives each and every day. Even if you think the law of attraction or the law of vibration or the 12 universe don't work, they work. If you don't believe that they work, just go and check your life. If you're not happy with something in your life, just go and deep a little bit deeper. I remember that song. Let's just dig a little bit deeper. And anyway, so let's just go.
I don't know that song. PG.
That's Afrikaans song. You won't remember it. so in any case, you know, when I started doing keynote speeches, now you can hear that I speak Afrikaans. In my English class, I never learned how to speak proper English or to read proper English or but in any case, so you can actually hear that I've learned that altering your life by altering your attitude, I just do that, but I didn't learn to speak English, okay? So I speak very delicious English.
Very delicious English. And PG is frozen there. As he said, I speak very delicious English. He froze there. You guys are...
Since I was twice.
On Thrive, and we are having a very different morning this morning because instead of having a normal conversation, we are telling stories by an infectious person, PG Paradigm, who is the results doctor. And so his stories have a lovely gift within each one. And so we've covered the story of if you live in the past and keep searching for things that are no longer there, you will not move forward. You need to do things in a different way in order to expect a different result. And then the other story that he told, which I'm sure he didn't tell the whole story. I'm just saying, PG, I did notice that you didn't tell us how many times you actually got kicked out of class, but he was put in the front of his class because he could be a slight disruption. And in front of the class, there was a beautiful poster. And the poster said that repeat that again for us, PG, you back now?
Okay, so the poster said, and it's a black poster with purple writing. So I couldn't remember anything else. I couldn't remember how to speak English or read English, but I could remember the poster. 7 simple words. Altering your life by altering your attitude.
Lovely.
That's it.
Lovely. So PG, I just want to let you know that at 11 o'clock, I'm going to go outside and howl like a wolf.
Yes.
3 times, and I'm going to shout, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we've got about 6 minutes for you to tell your next story, and then I'm going to break to do that. And I hope that everybody who's watching is doing the same. At 11 o'clock in South Africa, the most amount of people are awake in the whole world. So that is another time during the day to show gratitude. I hope you guys will join me. Back to you, PG.
Thank you. In any case, okay, so I didn't learn to speak English, so I speak very delicious English since I was twice for a very long distance. Okay, so in any case, so the second lesson I learned in my English class, same table, same poster, same door. The only difference was this was now the second year in grade 11, not the first. Same jokes. Okay, so now Ms. Dirker is sick and tired of all my jokes and says sick and tired of all my slightly disruptions in the class. And so now I need to start participating in this class because otherwise I'm going to do grade 11 for a third time and I don't want to stay that long in class. Okay, so now I start participating. I'm like becoming now a grade student or whatever you're going to call it, but I'm one of those now. Okay, so I'm putting the jacket, I'm there, I'm focusing. So Ms. Dirker took a book and she started reading out of this book. And she said, someone was walking on a path. Now there's one word this Afrikanerkie don't know. It's path. So now I told you that I'm participating. I put my hand up. I say, Ms. Derker, what is a path? And she said, PG, I'm sick of your jokes. Take your bag and leave you with my class. And I said, ma'am, I don't know what's a path. And she said, listen, take your bag and go. Okay, so I had no choice. I took my bag and I'm close to the front door and I'm just out there. And then Ms. Derker realized just as I left the class, I said, ma'am, I truly don't know what's a path. And I left. And then Ms. Derker realized that I don't know. And she put her head out of the door and she said, PG, you are walking on a path now. And the interesting part about this, every single person have a path. And sometimes we don't know everything on our paths. Sometimes we don't even know the word path. Sometimes those paths are difficult. There's obstacles, there's rocks, there's bumps. There's a lot of things on our paths that we have to go over or under or around. But then we come to a gate. And once we're at a gate, we don't know how to get over the gate or around the gate or underneath the gate. And when we get stuck, we have to go and re-elevate or revisit our lives.
Yes.
That's the word. That's the word.
Yeah, I'm just helping you with that word.
Thank you and bless you. That's what I said. So in any case, we have to go and what's the word?
Evaluate.
That's it, that word. You have to go and redo that word of your life. And then you have to go and properly unpack them. And I believe in the 7 or 6 P's in anything we do. If we proper plan, we prevent that part we do in our pants when we don't get the results. So it's proper planning prevents poor performance.
In your pants.
Yeah. So proper planning prevents poor performance.
In your pants.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. So if we properly plan and we unpack everything we have in our lives, or our industry, or our business, or our health, and we go and plan, because life happens when we don't have a plan. But if you have a plan, then you start getting better results.
Well, that's so interesting that you say that, because Oprah's definition of luck in opportunity meets preparation. And so her whole thing is that if you have a clear vision of what you want, so you prepare yourself for that moment when the opportunity presents itself, that is actually luck. Because if that opportunity presents itself, but you are not ready, that opportunity will just fly by because you weren't ready to actually take hold of that opportunity and make the most of it. So I love what you're saying there. It is 2 minutes to. So I'm going to take you guys outside with me and we are going to go and howl 3 times, guys. And PG, I hope you're going to be doing the same. I think you should also be going outside and howling. It is very important to do these things. And we're going to howl and say thank you 3 times to all of the people that are currently making our lives work while we are social distancing and staying at home, which is very, very important, guys. But think about just the rubbish collectors, those guys who are putting themselves out there. Wow, it's bright outside this morning, that are putting themselves out there. And then also the people in the supermarkets, in the pharmacies, in the hospitals, working tireless hours. I know we as South Africans are in a very privileged position. Our government has acted quickly and have been containing things well, but there are still people working tirelessly all over the world. And 11 o'clock, which is in about 15 seconds, is the time where the most people in the world are awake at the same time. So I hope you guys will join me. And 3, 2, 1. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. We'll do an extra one today because it's Friday. So thank you so much for joining me on that little path. PG, I didn't hear you howling here. I'm just saying.
The microphone was off, but I did howl.
Okay. All right. Just check. Okay. Let's put my laptop back on its stand and PG can carry on with his stories.
Yeah. Okay. So the interesting part is that we as humans have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. And if we break it down, it comes to 3,300 to 2,500 thoughts a day. And if you break it down, it comes to 55 thoughts every second. So it means that we almost have a thought a second. And whenever we have a thought, and like Robin said, like a seed, if you think about your thoughts as seeds, and you give that seed a little bit of water, it starts growing. And in neuroscience, we say nerve cells that fire together wire together. And every time when you have a thought, it comes to a neurotransmitter, and the neurotransmitter make a chemical, and the chemical get released into your body, and then you have a feeling. So you have a thought, and you have a feeling, and then we have actions, and then we get results. So that's the thought cycle explained.
Now, I love what you said there. So I'm going to ask you to please repeat it, PG. You said something that fires together. You broke up there. Just say that again, because the rest I heard, but that was very important.
Okay, so in neuroscience, we say nerve cells that fire together wire together.
I love that. Nerve cells that fire together wire together. Guys, hear that very clearly, because the reality is that is the secret to manifestation. So I want you to really hear that. Nerve cells that fire together wire together. Carry on. I love that, PG.
Okay, so I've got a little story to explain it simple. If we go outside and we find an open field with long grass, and we decide we're going to walk from the one side of this field to the other side of this field for the very first time. And then we start. We go from the one side to the other side, and we turn around and we have a look. Is there a path? No, there won't be a path. If we go through it once. If we go through it 10 times, no. If we go through it 10,000 times, there will be definitely be a path. So that's what we call a neuron pathway.
Yes.
Okay. A neuron pathway is done by repetition, over and over and over and over again. So the two most powerful words in any language, the two most powerful words in any dictionary are I am. Because what follows after I am will shape your life. Now, if you say, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, and I'm not good enough, over and over and over again, then through repetition, you're building a new neuron pathway. Okay? Now then, if you have now thousands of neural pathways, then just think about it. Nerve cells that fire together wire together. So every time when you have a specific thought, it fires exactly the same circuit and it gets to exactly the same result. So the only way for us as human beings to change as adults is through repetition. And we can train ourselves new neuron pathways through repetition if we want to start building new habits. And nerve cells that fire together, that wires together, is all habits. And a habit is when the body, the feeling, knows better than the mind. Now here's the interesting part. 95.
A habit is where the feeling knows better than the mind.
Yeah, so the habit is the body actually. It's when the body.
Because once you, and the reason why I think this is like such a good thing to remember is that a habit initially, like PG was saying, you know, if you go through a felt, you know, you walk through it, you're not going to leave a pathway, but the more you walk, the more you create a pathway. So it's the same as like, guys, when you're learning to drive, initially when you get in the car, you have to focus so hard. It's like, okay, I've got to remember to check that mirror, put my gear in, put my foot in. Like there's all these things that we're focusing on. But after a while, it's habit. Like when you get in the car, it's unconscious. It's unconscious. You're just kind of driving it. It's a normal way of being. And so, but you know the feeling of it. Your body knows what it feels like to drive the car. And so the habit has been instilled within your physical being. And I think that that's something quite important to just remember about habit forming. Sorry, PG, carry on.
Yes, so I've put a little piece together that explains it simple, okay? 95% of who we are by the time we're halfway through our 30s is a set of memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, unconscious habits, hardwired attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions that function just like a computer program. Just like you said, driving the car, okay? So with the 5% of our conscious mind, we say, I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, I want to be free. But our bodies, the habit, the emotion, the feeling, is in a whole different program. That's why it's difficult. You know that when you have a certain habit and you get outside your comfort zone, then it feels uncomfortable. But then usually our body is going to check in with our mind and say, no. That feels uncomfortable. I want to return to the familiar past because everything in your everything in your comfort zone is familiar to you. And you know, my favorite thing when I teach my program, or I've got a few students, they come up with excuses. Everybody comes up with excuses. Then they're going, this doesn't feel right. It won't feel right because it doesn't feel familiar to your comfort zone, familiar to your past. Okay. So our bodies is functioning on habit. Your body has become your subconscious mind. So what exactly is a habit? A habit is when your body knows better than your mind. And we think that our mind is in charge all the time. It's the opposite. Our feelings are in charge. If there's one thing I want people to write down and take home with them, whenever you have a thought, you've got 30 seconds to deal with that thought. Otherwise, it becomes a feeling. And when you have the feeling, then it's so much difficult or more difficult to deal with the feeling. And then most people sit between the two. We think and feel and feel and think and think and feel and think and feel and feel and think. And we just go on for 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 years. And then we come on the end of our lives and we said we didn't live. Or this opportunity, life was against me. I never ever had luck. You won't have any luck if you don't create your own luck. Thoughts are electric and feelings are magnetic. If you think better thoughts and you make your body feel abundant, healthy, wealthy, happy, you will attract those things into your life. And if you do it continuously over and over and over again, you will create better neuron pathways.
Yeah, you know, It's such a, there's so many different schools of thought, but I love the way you're explaining it. And I think that, you know, a lot of people watching are connecting with it, because I'm getting, yes, definitely, Goldie. Isaac says, body is subconscious mind making it a habit. You know, there's a lot of people saying that they're watching and thumbs up. I see a lot of people also howled. Whoop, whoop. Glad you guys howled. But the reality is that you have, and I've spoken about this quite a few times before, and PG is just really speaking about it now from a different perspective. And this is why we've got so many teachers, guys, is because each teacher will say things in a different way, and the way in which they say the truth, because it's all truths, right, that are all interwound and connected, will connect with some people, and the way another teacher says a truth will connect with other people. And that's why you get, if you look at all the great teachers on the planet, you will see that if you boil down the essence of what they're teaching, they're the same truths. It's the same truths expressed in different ways, spoken about in different ways. And one of the things a lot of people, and I know that this is really happening at the moment, guys, I'm experiencing it too, you're not alone, is that our wounding, our childhood wounding, which goes back to what PG was saying right in the beginning of like losing his skin. He was like, where's my skin? Where's my skin? That's what's happening at the moment. Those wounds are popping up, and they're those cycles that we've lived over and over and over again. But like I always say, when it comes up, when it is charged, when it is emotionalized, it's because it needs to be healed. It's your subconscious mind going, can you pay attention to this? It's not healed. It's not okay. So how am I going to handle this differently so that I can shift it within my patterning, so that I can create a new patterning, a new, as PG is saying, neural pathway that better serves me to health, to wealth, to happiness, to all of the things that I actually want in my life. That is the invitation. And so and I like the way you said, when you've got a thought, you know, you've got 30 seconds to kind of go, how am I going to respond to this thought? And I said in a different way, you have a thought, stop, pause, see the thought, and see what your emotions are doing, and recognize whether that is a pattern which no longer serves you. And in that moment, which is the same thing as PG is saying, it's just in a different way, decide, make a decision. I am going to not react to this in the same way. I'm going to choose a better path. And the more you do that, as PG was saying, repetition, the more you do it over and over again, that's how you create the new neural pathway. And that's how you create the new habit that then serves you in a better way. So that's kind of just recapping what we've been talking about. I've got somebody tuned in here, Johnny. He says, he's one of your students, PG, and he says, I'm one of PG's students. He has helped me so much with my mind and thoughts. If you can dream it, you can hold it in your hand, which I really love, and it's such a great saying. And PG is a very good mind doctor. So I just wanted to read that to you, PG. We've got time for one more story.
Okay, so this brings me to the end of all the stories. I've got a gift. I've got a gift for each and every person that wants it. Okay. So I had all the reasons in the world to be negative and unsuccessful. And when we speak again, I can tell you the whole story of why. But just in short, on a stage in my life, I ended up staying in a concrete drain pipe next to a dam. So I was actually homeless. This concrete drain pipe was my home. And I closed it up with a sink plot on the one side and a sail on the other side. And like you said, the decision that I took, that I'm not going to stay there forever, I took action and I worked myself out of that drain pipe. And I had many things in my life that I could be negative about. But I made a choice of my attitude towards my life. And the pathway that I'm on, if I bring the right attitude, my life is going to be better. And today, my life is wonderful. So this Afrikaanse boytjie written a book. Okay, I've written a book in English.
In
English. Delicious English. No grammar errors. No punctuations on the right, on the wrong places. Everything is, I've got it checked out. Okay. So in any case, when I started being a keynote speaker, I had to go for English classes, and I'm still not there yet, but I'm getting there. Okay. So in any case, I had to go for these English classes, and they gave me a paper, and on the paper said, so I had to go through repetition. I have to create new neuron pathways. Okay. So they gave me this paper. I threw 3,000 thoughtful fucks into treetop leaves. And that was now to get my the and the better.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had all the excuses in the world not to be a keynote speaker. Okay? In any case, so I took that paper and I said, who in the world want to throw 3,000 thoughtful fucks into treetop leaves? English is not for me. I'm just going to speak delicious English since I was twice for a very long distance, and I'm going to write the book. So I did write the book. And the book is called Fertilizing Your Mind. Now, fertilizing your mind have 8 steps, 8 practical ways. I'm a practical person, and I think the world needs practical stuff to get rid of negative thoughts and seed positive thoughts. Okay, this book is dedicated, and that's 2 of my mentors, and I spent so much time with them. I had interaction Zoom calls with them. It's Dr. Joe Dispenza and Bob Proctor. This book is dedicated to both of them. Okay, and it's fertilizing your mind, negative weeding for positive living, a negative thought weeding program for a healthy, wealthy, and a happy life. And it's in English. And it's a short book with big words. If I can read it, anyone can read it. So I'm giving this book away. I'm selling it on Amazon for $10. I'm giving this book away because I feel I can bring a lot of value to each and everybody's life that wants it. So I'm giving this book for free because I love each and every one outside there that want to make a change in their life. So the only thing they have to do, go to my Facebook page or my Instagram.
Can you send me a link for the book? And then
yes.
we can facilitate all of that, PG.
Yes.
So
perfect.
it will be an easier thing. Then what I'll do is, for everybody watching, I will add in the description of this interview, I will add the link, and PG is saying he will give it to you guys. He would like you to follow him or like him, but in return he will give you the book, which I think is totally fair. And you can jump onto the link that I post in the description of this afterwards. Is that okay, PG? Because I think that will be the easiest way.
Perfect.
Okay.
So, Susana, thank you so much for this opportunity, and thank you so much for a really interactive conversation this morning. And here's my favorite affirmation. If progress was a slow process, they weren't speaking about us. I'm PG Paradigm. I'm your results doctor.
Amazing. PG, don't go anywhere. I just want to thank everyone for watching this morning. Guys, thank you so much to PG. Thank you for your time and your energy. I must say, I met PG, and from the moment I met him, he just has this open heart and infectious energy. And so I thought, how wonderful. Let's bring that to you guys so that you guys can connect with him, because I do believe, PG, that your intention is to bring light. And so I honor you for that. And I thank you for your time this morning and your humor and your wisdom as well. And to everybody that is watching, thank you so much for tuning in, and much love and light to you guys. May you thrive in happiness and a fertile mindset that brings results.